Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nisha and this is KSP 1.3. So today we're actually gonna go with 2 hour satellites to the different moons. So first to the moon and then to Mun Minmus. So we will start with that. We are currently orbiting around Kerbin here in 90 degrees equator orbit here. So we don't need to change our inclination here. If we set this as a target, we can see that our inclination is just 0.1 degree off, so we're almost orbiting in the same inclination. And as you can see, Minmus is in a different inclination. So yep. So knowing that, we will of course place a new maneuver node here, and I think around 800 will do the trick, maybe a little bit more here, and we will put it over here somewhere. Oh, I remember how I used to struggle so much to just go to the moon in the beginning of this series, but things have definitely changed. I am more experienced here, so I probably know what I'm doing. That is the key to this. This is a very highly complex game to learn, actually, so don't feel bad if you don't understand it. I had to struggle a lot just to make it things here. So yeah. As usual, I will point our satellite, in this case instead of ship, into our maneuver node, as we have no estimated burn here, so that is something I want to know. So I would guess 1.5 minutes or something like that. So yeah, okay, so it's a 3 minutes, estimated burn is 3 minutes and 10 seconds, so that is 1 minute and 35 seconds. When the node is at 1 minute and 35 seconds, that is halfway before the node and a half afterwards. So yeah, so that is awesome. Another part I love is precise maneuver here. It's an awesome mod, but if you use it while you are traveling, when you are your ship is under acceleration, if you delete the nodes, you can't click on any orbit at all. So yeah, that can be good to know. So delete your node with this here instead, this cross here instead, and you will be safe from. Otherwise, you will not be able to click here. You will not be able to right click on here either. So yeah. I don't know why it happens. I should probably report it to the mod maker if I remember that. My memory is always bad when it comes to stuff like that, but at least I have managed to figure out why it's happened, so I can avoid that behavior. So yeah, I'm going closer here, take small steps at a time so we don't overshoot our maneuver here, or to assume. So what did I tell you guys? Yes, I've told you guys 1 minute and 35 seconds, yeah. So we are soon there. I'm thinking another half minutes around here, so let's walk there and then let's start here. And then I will just do some fine maneuvering here, because we are a bit over our blue maneuver node there. And there we go. So now we just have to be patient enough for 5 seconds. Oh yeah, I'm in a weird mood today. So as usual, that is probably my usual state of mind. Yeah, so if you press delete now, you will not be able to right click or make new maneuvers like this, so don't do that. Delete it from here and it will work as intended. I think it's a new bug that has come around since I upgraded to 1.3, because it didn't happen before. But it ruined a recording before I figured it out. I was going crazy for a moment there trying to figure it out. So yeah, we have a long burn time here, so I will speed it up for you guys so you don't get too bored. We are at 100 here, so I will actually remove our maneuver node here. and check. Yeah, it's not working, it's not bugged out or anything here. So as we just are gonna travel more or less in the pro grade, it's a fairly easy intercept to do, so I rather do it manually here. So we get a good intercept there. So as soon as we get our approach here, we get contact with it, we will slow down and float a bit, and then we will focus on the moon. And it actually looks like a very good approach here, because I think I want to orbit with our satellite in a very wide orbit, so it spends less time being blocked by a planet. Because I'm not using this satellite, relay satellite, to be coverage around the moon. It's more or less more for getting coverage outside of the system here. So yeah, this is what I'm more interested in. So I will set up satellites around all moons and 2 satellites around Kerbin later, just to get a lot of redundancy, and so I have always at least some satellites can have contact to Kerbin. And that is important because if we're gonna use probes, unmanned probes, they need to have contact with Kerbin to be able to control them, where otherwise you will not be able to control them. So at least on normal difficulty or standard settings that I have. Okay, so what we want to do now is actually we will warp here, go out of map mode so we get some nice graphics going. Otherwise, yeah, we spend so much time in map mode, so it's nice to sometimes just fly. And I still have that weird bug where Kerbin is flashing here. You see a little black shadow now and then. I'm not sure why that happens. Okay, so here we have the moon. It was a long time since we visited the moon. We can see our ghetto blaster. That was our first ever landing with a Kerbal. So yeah, we have a flag there somewhere too. So let's add a maneuver node here at the lowest point. I say the lowest point because I can't pronounce Pirapiris and Apogis. No, it's just impossible for me. So yeah, so when I'm referring for the lowest point, as usual, I'm referring for VLC. Yeah, so let's make this a polar orbit here. That is a good one, and it doesn't require a lot of delta V to do. So this is not maybe a final position for a satellite, but I think it's a good start. At least we have placed it around around here. So estimated burn, as once again we don't have estimated burn, so let's point into a maneuver. So yeah, there we go. So let's burn just to get some estimated burn. 36 seconds, so that is 15 seconds. First 30 divided by 2, 15 seconds, and 6 divided by 2 is 3 seconds, so we will start burning at 18 seconds. Actually, we really doesn't need a maneuver node here to do this. This is quite simple stuff, but I like to put them out anyway, just so you get some kind of reference here. So yeah, we are going fairly slow around here because we are not, the closer you are to the moon or any kind of celestial body like the moon or Kerbin, the faster you will travel around it here. But it's a good thing, but it is both a good thing and a bad thing, because if it's blocked, it will be blocked for a longer while, but if it's not blocked, it will be unblocked for a longer while. So yeah, I'm not really sure how the benefits, I don't really understand that yet. Maybe later in this series I will understand things like that. I'm still learning. And I think this will be probably the longest series on my channel ever, because I think I will my goal is to plant a flag on every body that we can, a celestial body we can land on, and that will take a long while, I believe, before we have done all that. So yeah, so you can enjoy future episodes for quite a while if you're watching us when this was recorded. Okay, let's just... it's not super important here. As you can see, it's a minus prograde, which is retrograde, so we can more or less just go retrograde here. We don't need a maneuver node, but it was nice to place it out here. So if I go like this, we will see it will bend around more and more, and then I will probably slow when it starts to bend a lot more. So we will go a little bit slower here, slower. So as soon as it orbits around, it will be almost a perfect circular orbit. So yeah, I'm just waiting for pressing the X key as soon as I see we have an orbit around the moon. And then our objective is done for at least this first placement of these satellites. Okay, a little bit slower now. Okay, 1 notch. We are getting near slowly. I think it will snap around very soon. We are going super slow. Almost 0.1 meter per second here. So yeah, maybe I should speed it up a bit. So if we slow, the thing is, if we slow down fast enough, it means that when we slow down fast enough, it means that we will have less force, because if you have more force than 329.1 meter per second here, while we are out here so far from the moon, I will go for 331, that means that I have so much speed that the gravity can't pull me in here, so it can't grab me, the gravity can't grab me there, so yeah. So this is probably a very good, yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, cool, so let's go to our other satellite, that is gonna go to Minmus, so let's go to the tracking station. Okay, cool, so the first thing we need to do to go to Minmus is, of course, select it as a target. This is important because we have these numbers is important here, because that means that we are 6.9 degrees off the inclination. We are currently traveling like here, and we can see Minmus is traveling there. So we have to adjust for that first to make an easy approach. So yeah, so what I usually do is grab one of these here, add a maneuver node near there, and then we will, Minmus is around 900. So let's first find out where Minmus is. It's over there. Oh no, we are just gonna do adjustment here. Sorry, I was thinking ahead, and I will not use the delete button on the Priest maneuver mode here. Okay, so, but we're gonna add it here anyway, because it's easier to adjust there. That was what I'm gonna do, inclination there. So let's click on this one, so we have something. It's always too much information and it's kind of hard to read here. So let's see if I can click on that. I want to click on that. That's the thing. That's why I don't like the game's maneuver node, because it's really hard to click around with that one. Okay. What we need to do here is to change that here. Our normal is going up and down, radial is left and right. There is no up and down in space, but yeah, that's how I think about it. Even it's probably not correct, but my way of doing it is working too. So we have now put a maneuver with just minus 0.1, so we need to move our maneuver node back and forth until we can get that number to be even less here. Let's see if we can do it. It flips around here. Let's see if I go down, up and down a bit here. Okay, that is good enough, minus 0.1 degrees. So yeah, once again, we don't have estimate the burn. We don't have an active engine, so I'm activating the engine here. So just let's make a burst so we can get the estimated burn. So we have an estimated burn with the 1 minute, so that is 30 seconds, and then 3 seconds, so 31 seconds. It's not super important that it's perfect, but okay, let's stop here so we don't. I was about to overshoot it there, or it felt like that. Where is our satellite? There is so many. Oh yeah, there is our satellite. We have the satellite carrier just behind us. So 30 seconds and 1.5 seconds. So yeah, 31 is good enough. So let's go here. Let's brake a bit when we get closer. Okay, cool. So yeah, we need to point inside the maneuver node, which is actually anti-normal. So I could use the button here, anti-normal, more or less, to keep, as our probe can't fly in a maneuver. So I will use anti-normal because that is what we. And let's get this ready. And what I'm gonna do actually. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna fly anti-normal just here, but I will fly most of the part here. I will burn. Here just to see what's going on here, and then I will get rid of the interface and try to wing it a bit, so we can maybe even get it to 0 if we are lucky. One thing about the maneuver nodes, they don't take in account that you accelerate, because you get dump some fuel by burning it. So yeah, it starts to go faster and faster, and it doesn't take that. It doesn't count that in that thing. So it's not exactly precise in that way. So maybe, so yeah, it could be good to do some of the more rough adjustments with maneuver nodes, but otherwise don't trust it all the way. Okay, so we are down to okay, let's do it like this. Just remember to remove it like that. Click on that, and we will just adjust it here manually. We can see here. Yeah, that was what I thought. Sometimes it's easier to hit it manually than with a maneuver. Yeah. So we have a perfect inclination. We are traveling at the same inclination as Minmus, which will make our approach a lot easier for us. So cool. So where are you, Minmus? Let's zoom out here so we get the idea here. Let's add a maneuver node around here. Go around 950. Oh, that is too much. We are escaping the Kerbin system here, so we need to go a little bit slower. Let's use a 1 here. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then we will just move it until we get a good approach. I think we got one there. Oh, we got to escape there. Oh! We was inside the moon's influence there, so yeah, let's move our maneuver node a lot more to the left here, so we don't. The moon is not messing things up for us. So yeah, there it's good enough there. Let's see. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so it's very precise here. If I go a little bit more to the right. I like that approach, I believe. So let's focus on Minmus so we see what we do here. How close are we? Around 50,000 meters. That is good enough for me. I will execute that maneuver. So yeah, usually you can catch Minmus around a quarter here, and the moon you can usually need to go around here before ahead of the moon there, but Minmus is around here. So cool. So we just need to go back to our ship. And the thing is, you can actually press a shift tab to go to your ship directly, so you don't have to flip through it, but I don't like to do that because shift is also what you throttle up with, so yeah, that's not a good thing to do. Okay, so we have exactly 4 minutes to burn here. So that is 2 minutes burn, so that should be fairly easy to do. So let's get ourselves into the maneuver node here. And we can see the pink target, which is Minmus, so yeah, it's around there. You can probably fly just by flying to the target, just as you do a rendezvous, but that will take a lot of time to pull off. Okay, so let's go here, warp here first. Okay, 9 seconds. There we go. So now we have a very long burn to do here. Okay, so we're getting close here. It goes fast, the last part here, so another encounter with the moon there too. Okay, so let's throttle down, remove our maneuver, and we will try to do this manually. So if we were traveling more or less at the same place we are traveling now, it will go fine here, so we will get our approach. So yeah. As you can see how little speed, we just increase our speed a bit here, and it goes so fast the last part here, so I'm going very slow here. And as you can see there, we are getting our approach. And we just notch up and down until we get the approach there. So let's focus on Minmus, so we see where we arrived here. I think that is a good place to arrive, so we will stay the course here. So we will warp into the brown one. I've explained this many times. The brown one, it means that it's a different sphere of influence, because our blue-green one, that means that we are in the sphere of influence of Kerbin. So yeah. So if we go here, okay, now that was really hard to do from this view. So if I go here, as you can see here, here we are still in the sphere of influence of Kerbin, in the Kerbin's gravity here. So and over here we are in the sphere of influence of Minmus. So let's go there. So let's fly the more cinematic view here. Yeah, not much things to see. More than a glitch of Kerbin showing up there. I don't know why that happens. Oh, there is the moon, I believe. So we have 2 days to travel, 1 day. And there we have Minmus. So we have arrived to Minmus, that is awesome. So let's zoom in here. Let's see. So here we have. So the deal is the same as here. So if I add a maneuver here, I will just go retrograde. We will not need a lot of delta V to do this, because the orbit around orbit around Minimus is slow because Minimus is so tiny, so it has a low gravity. That means that even that we are very close to Minimus, the speeds are slow. Okay, that was kind of okay. So yeah, let's go for that one, and I will do it manually here. I'm just using a maneuver to have something to aim for. So let's warp here. And this is the same deal here. If we go too fast in speed here, we will just escape Minimus sphere of influence. But if we slow down here, Minimus can grab us. So yeah, that is rocket science by Snatcher. Very simple way to think. It probably doesn't even work that way, but that is how I understand it at least. So yeah, it's more or less retrograde here, so we can actually use our lock on to our retrograde here. We will warp here. And it's a very short one to do, as it's only, we need to, our speed change is so little until we get cached here, so it's just a 13 seconds burn if you use full power. So yeah, okay, let's warp here. I will do this manually. So let's just go retrograde for a while. It's starting to bend here. And there we have our escape here, so okay, I will slow down, go half speed here. So as soon as I get to orbit, I will go around, we'll throttle down, because then we have made our objective here. So let's just slow down a bit more. Here I'm seeing it's starting to bend. It almost bends all the way here, and then it will snap around. And I think I will travel to the highest point for, just to make the lowest point more. So yeah, we get a bigger or wider orbit here. Okay, cool. So let's travel here, and we will do the same thing there. That way we can grow. I wasn't pointing into retrograde, but now I'm doing it. Okay, that's retrograde. Oh, sorry, it's the opposite we need to do. Oh yeah, it's not pointing at. So yeah, and I need to be more patient. So now we can wire this one. We have this around 2 million meters. So let's try to put our highest point at the same there. We have to be careful here so we don't escape. And so we escaped. So you need to go retrograde just a tiny notch until we get to orbit again. I'm not so serious about making it perfect here, but I think that is a good orbit here around Minimus there. So our low is quite a different. The lowest point is almost 500,000 meters lower, but I don't care. I just wanted this into orbit here. So cool. So now we have our 2 satellites in orbit in our system here. So if we go to the tracking station, we can see now that we have our first network here is going here. You can see the green spaghetti lines, or whatever we want to call it. So that our objective is done here. So let's go into our satellite carrier. Wonder what that is. I think that is space junk. Let's check out what it is before we delete it. Yeah, it's space junk. It is just the coupler. So yeah, let's go to tracking station and delete it. This will destroy your vessel, killing all the crew, but we don't have any crew there, so I can remove that. So let's go to our satellite carrier. Okay, cool. So we are now ready for our 2 other satellites. We will send one satellite orbiting the sun, and the other one will go to Duna. I'm thinking in the episode after this we will go to Duna. So let's decouple this one and get that one ready. There we go. So let's speed this up a bit. Okay, it's in safe distance. Let's switch over for that. So here we have it. It's still a bit too close for my taste for the carrier. So let's speed up the time a bit so we are at a safer distance before we explode the fairing. Cool. So let's get our solar panels out. There we go. So that's good. And now we have power here. Yes, I will not shoot our satellite carrier this time. So let's just make sure that we are okay. Let's SOS here. Okay, cool. And I will just click control from here so it doesn't get confused. Rename Duna. I don't remember my own naming convention, but I will go back and check that. But I will remember Duna Sat here. So let's get rid of this part here. There we go. So cool. So let's go to the tracking station so I can get my naming convention. Yes, I now remember my naming convention. First, the planet will orbit, so it will be Duna RA100 Relay Satellite 1. So yeah, we know that now. So Duna Sat, now we have, and now we know this was the decoupler because I renamed this one. So let's go there. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's right click on the probe. So Duna dash RA100 satellite relay 1. Let's see if I'm senile or not, if I have remember my own naming convention here. Let's go to the tracking station and see if I'm senile or not. Oh, I'm not senile. That is good news for everyone. So yeah, so that was everything for this episode. So in the next episode we're gonna fly our new satellite relay all the way to Duna. So that was everything, my dear friends, and as always, thank you for watching.